Let's get it going tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The NFL offseason has been full of chaotic signings and trades. March Madness is now fully upon us, and the MLB season actually started this morning. All of this and way more coming up on College Crossfire.
What are those? Coming back to that 2021 MVP. He's better than Josh Allen. He's better than Baker Mayfield. He's not better than Mahomes. I can't say that.
What you really kick, you get kicked.
You know, bags of money or whatever, some food inside of them. Okay. All right. We're gonna move on.
Good evening and welcome into the College Crossfire. I'm your official host, Ryan Swantkowski, and we have an action-packed show tonight for you all. Before meeting our lovely contestants, I want to share with you that today's show is brought to you by Cap Metro, Austin's transit system. Connect you to work, school, play, and everywhere else in between. Plan your ride to this weekend's game at capmetro.org. All right, let's go ahead now and meet the players of tonight's contest. Introducing first, a contestant who always makes his name known on this very show, Ikey Kohler. Ikey, how are we feeling?
I'm feeling good. Tomorrow's the best 2 days in sports, so
Yes,
I'm ready to watch that. But yeah, I'm glad to be on.
There we go. Welcome back, Ikey. Glad you are here. Introducing second, making his first appearance of this semester, I believe. It's been a crazy semester. Courtney Machani. I believe I pronounced that correctly.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Welcome. How are we doing?
I'm doing good, like you said. First show since September, so I'm hoping to get some good answers in, and excited to be here.
There we go, man. Welcome back since September. Wow, it's been too long. Welcome back on. And introducing third, my name twin who's looking to spice things up tonight, Mr. Ryan Hopper. Ryan, how are we feeling?
Feeling pretty good. It's good to be back for my second time on Crossfire, and I feel like I learned a lot, so I'm ready to implement that.
There we go. The young rookie back to make his name known. We're matching almost two over there on name twins, outfit twins. There we go. Before we get started, though, let's go over the rules of the game just in case you've never tuned in before. There will be 3 rounds, with each round containing 3 questions, and points will be given to you, I believe, as the best answer in order of 3 points, 2 points, and 1 point. Whoever has the most points at the end of the third round wins and gets to come back for next week's show as well. But we can't forget that the third and final round, or the rapid fire round, is worth double the points. That meaning the best answer will receive 6 points, and so on. New to the game, in case there is a tied score at the end of the final round, I do have a quick bonus question to see who is crowned the champion of tonight's show. Also in this rapid fire round, the contestants have not been able to see or prepare for these questions at all, meaning they will have to improvise, overcome, and just hopefully not get caught in the crossfire. Now that the game is explained, let's get to firing. Texas men's basketball has been solidified as a 7th seed in this year's March Madness tournament and will take on the Colorado State Rams tomorrow night. What is your prediction for this first round game, and what will be Texas's key to success if they want to get the win in the round of 64? Ikey, we're going to start with you.
Yeah, so as far as my prediction goes, I watched the Colorado State-Virginia game. Colorado State didn't really impress me too much. I mean, it was a really low-scoring game. But as far as Texas goes, look, they have players with Dylan DeSue, who was a star in the tournament last year. Max Abmas with Oral Roberts. He played well in March. Tyrese Hunter took Iowa State to the Elite Eight. Those 3 things, and it's March. Texas has a lot of things going for them. I think Texas ends up winning this game by 10 points. The key early is going to be DeSue dominating in the paint and getting out to an early lead. And, late in the games when Texas have blown lead and Texas has lost, it's always been give the ball to Max Abmas. Max Abmas will follow up a shot. Sometimes they go in, but when they don't, he doesn't have that player next to him who's ready to pull the trigger just like he is. Everyone seems just get Max the ball and let him try to go win a game. So especially a close game late in March, I think someone like Dylan Mitchell or Kendall Weaver or Tyrese Hunter is going to have to step up at the end of the game because you can't have Max Abmas do everything. I mean, it may win one game, but it's not a key for success. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Colorado State, I believe, I'm with you there. It wasn't extremely impressive. Virginia's just not a very good basketball team, let's be real here. But you're absolutely right. It seems like Abmas, just give him the ball and see what he can do. I don't know how well that's going to work in this March Madness tournament, so we'll see. So I like that answer a lot. All right, Courtney, let's hear it.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off Ikey. I also think that Texas will end up winning this game, but I think Texas isn't out the woods yet when it comes to Colorado State. Most of the times in these recent March Madness tourneys, there has been at least one team from that first four to make it and upset someone out the round of 64. And a lot of people are predicting that this matchup may be the one where Colorado State wins. But I feel like Texas, if they really do want to win, there's two things they have to do. They have to limit assists and they have to limit paint points. Texas has been playing physical a lot recently. The big men like Dylan Dessou, Dylan Mitchell have to play up front. Colorado State does two good things really well. They are top 10 in assists and in paint points. So if Texas wants to win this game, they do have to play a little bit physical, play ball. And Isaiah Stevens, who's one of the assist leaders in the nation, is going to get his no matter what. So Max Amos and him are going to go back and forth. But as long as they stop his assist game, I think they're in a good spot to win this game.
Very true. I like the point that you brought in. Still picking Texas to win, but having to play physical, assist leader, like you said. It's going to be a very interesting game to see, but I like the answer as well. All right, Ryan, round us off.
Well, so I'm going to piggyback off of that answer. My main key to the game, they have to keep the Rams off the glass. It's important in any basketball game, but especially when they are top 10 in the nation in paint points. And mainly, Dessou, going along with that, is going to have to stay out of foul trouble because, as y'all said, Dessou was the go-to guy last March. Max Abmas was the go-to guy on Oral Roberts, where there wasn't as much talent on the team, so he kind of had to chuck shots. We saw, with tougher competition in the Big 12, that Max Abmas chucking up threes didn't always work out. And so the second key is they cannot get behind like UVA did. I don't believe they will because, as you said, UVA is just not an offensively very good basketball team. But they cannot get behind. They cannot chase the game. But at the same time, this Texas team, we've seen ridiculous blown leads this year. And people are sleeping on Colorado State just because it's a small school and they're from the Mountain West. The Mountain West put 6 tournament teams in this year. And so with that being said, I have the Colorado State Rams to beat Texas by 3 points.
Wow, Colorado State to beat Texas. I was loving your points right then, and then you hit me with Colorado State. But I have to respect it. Colorado State's a very respectable team. Okay, assigning the points, don't necessarily agree with the winner of the game. But I'm going to give it to you on the end there, Ryan. I think Dessou staying out of foul trouble is an absolute must for Texas. Last year, against Penn State, against other teams, completely dominant. He's going to have to be dominant again. Ikey, I'm going to give you the 2 because you mentioned that Abmas cannot be the player, and somebody that's not named Dylan Dessou is going to have to step up, whether it's Weaver, whether it's somebody else, whether it's Tyrese Hunter. They're going to have to step up. Courtney, I'm going to give you the 1, like the stats you brought in, like the other 2 points, just slightly better. Okay, second question coming up, and switching over to women's basketball. The Lady Longhorns are the #1 seed in their side of the bracket and will face off against the 16 seed Drexel Dragons this Friday. Which Lady Orange will be the most impactful player in this game, and how far do you think this team can truly go? Courtney, we'll start with you in the middle.
Yeah, I don't think the Texas women's basketball team will have any problem with Drexel. I think they'll pretty much destroy that team. I think it's going to be like how it is all season. I think Madison Booker's going to put on the end of the show. She was today she was introduced as the first freshman woman to be added to the AP All-Pro, All-American team, second team. And so she definitely showed that she can be a star. I think she'll end up being one of the better women's basketball players in Texas history. And I think she's going to show out in this tournament for sure. I don't think that Texas is there yet. I know a lot of seniors came back to have that type of run, but I do still believe that Stanford did earn that 1 seed. I think they should have been the 1 seed. I think that in the Elite 8, Stanford's going to take care of business against Texas, unfortunately. So that's why I go with the Texas run, but I do think they're going to make some noise, so for sure.
Yeah, very fair. I think making some noise is a very fair assumption, and Madison Booker, like you said, been a great player all season long for the Horns, but also Stanford has been great. We'll see how it goes, but I like that start to that question. Ryan, let's hear it.
Well, so when you look at whether a 1 or a 2 seed or any top seed can make the Final Four, you have to say, okay, who are the other top 4 seeds in the bracket? 4 seeds Gonzaga. Gonzaga, decent team from the West Coast Conference, similar to in men's basketball. Not a very good conference, very top-heavy. I think I'm going to rule them out. 3rd seed NC State. They are from a good conference. They were inconsistent at points this year. I think Texas, or more likely Stanford, because they're on that side of the bracket, being the 2 and the 3. We'll get through that. I tend to agree, though. I think Stanford probably did earn the 1 seed, and I think that the only way that Texas will make the Final Four is if Madison Booker, who has stepped up as a scorer since the Roy Harmon injury, can carry them on her back, which she's done throughout their Big 12 schedule, so I wouldn't rule it out, but I'd say I'd give, assuming it's Stanford versus Texas, I give the Cardinal probably a 2/3 chance of winning that game.
All right, yeah, fair enough. Madison Booker again, Cardinals again. Man, can UT escape the Cardinals? We're going to have to find out and see how Booker plays throughout this tournament. But yes, very fair answer. Ikey, let's hear it, man.
All right, so, I mean, I'm just going to say this. I think they're going to make the Final Four. I think they're going to get past Stanford in the Elite Eight. I mean, if Stanford ends up making there. But as far as our game against Drexel, when Texas has been in trouble this season, like they were trailing to Tech for a little bit when they got beat by Oklahoma, it was their defense. They were giving up a ton of open shots. They weren't closing out on defense. And, you know, that's why I think Taylor Jones is going to be a big presence in the paint, playing good defense and really controlling the defense. Yeah, the way Vic Schaefer talks to his team in press conferences or about them, it could go two completely different ways. I mean, he's been completely harsh, just like beating a dead steel with a stick, like with his team, and he's also, you know, come out after a good win, how much he loves them, how much he cares for them. So it's clear that, to me, that this Texas team, they play for each other, they love each other, and I think that's going to propel them to the Final Four.
Wow, really like that there. Ooh, propel each other, motivate each other. I like that, Ikey. I like that. And I like that you brought in Jones and the Final Four prediction. I like that as well. All right, great answers across the board here. With the three, I'm giving it to you, Ikey. You like the fact you brought up the defense, especially against OU. What a close game that was. Crazy ending. Defense seems to be, obviously, it's a big part of basketball, but for the Lady Longhorns, that's their biggest problem when they are losing games. For the two, I'm going to give it to Courtney just because you kind of had that answer first with Booker and the losing to the Cardinals. And Ryan, I'm going to give you the one for the second question. All right. For the third question, and sticking here with the madness of March, what sleeper team do you believe can make a run for the championship? And give me your champion for this year as well. We will start with Ryan at the end.
All right, well, so I think that there are two potential double-digit seeds that could go to the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight. So not quite the championship, but for a double-digit seed, that's far. The first, got to rep my home state, the JMU Dukes. They are a tremendous basketball team. I know you guys probably haven't watched much of the Sun Belt this year. Sun Belt's not the best conference, App State, JMU, but JMU has 31 victories this season. That is the most in Division I. They are a top 10 offense in Division I, and they are a really good team. Great coaching. You got guys like Bickerstaff. You got buckets on this team. Everybody can shoot. They can shoot the three. They play scrappy defense, and they're a 12 seed, and you know you got to have at least two 12s beating a 5 on your bracket. And I see them going far. I see them beating Wisconsin. I see them beating a fragile Duke team in order to get to the Sweet 16. And I think New Mexico is going to make a run too. Tough Mountain West Conference. They won the Mountain West tournament. I think they can go a long way. Sweet 16, Elite 8. But my champion is the buzzsaw that is the Houston Cougars. They are the best defensive team in basketball by almost any metric. Lowest opponent field goal percentage, lowest opponent points, and lowest opponent points in the paint. So if you beat them, you're going to have to catch fire from three. I know that can happen in March, but it's going to be hard. I think Houston will take care of business.
Very good. Well, this is my favorite question of the night, and you started off strong. JMU, like you said, over 30 wins this year, 31 wins. They are, as a lot of people say, a wagon. They are somebody to watch out for sure. New Mexico, one of the hottest teams in this tournament, winning their conference. Nobody thought they would do it. Here they are. Houston, debatably the best team in the entire country, the best defense in the entire country. That's not for a debate. That is a fact, and I like that call for them to win it all. So I like that start. Really great start for you, Ryan. All right, Ikey, let's hear it.
Yeah, so for my sleeper team, I'm going to go with the 8 seed, the Florida Atlantic Owls. And I know they're matched up with UConn in the second round, but, you know, this Florida Atlantic team, no one expected them to make the Final Four last year. They did, and then they had all 5 returning starters come to this going into the season. And, you know, in March, experience matters, experience counts, and that's why, I mean, they're a sleeper team to make a run to the championship because they have Final Four experience. And as far as my tournament champion, I got to go with the Iowa State Cyclones. They beat Houston twice during the year, and the way they played against Houston in the Big 12 championship, I mean, it was absurd. It was the best basketball performance I had seen the entire season, with Keshawn Gilbert leading the way and their freshman, Milan Bimchilovic. I don't know, they just have that it factor. Their third-year coach, TJ Otzelberger, he kind of turned around Iowa State's culture, how Chris Beard started to at Texas, but I mean, before he got canned. But, you know, Iowa State could, you know, they could definitely make a run. Their fans are into it. And they have have everything they need to make a run to go win this championship. And I think they'll beat Houston in the championship too. So, yeah.
There we go. You took the term sleeper to heart. FAU, at least to me, is definitely a sleeper. Not a lot of expectations coming into this year after a Final Four visit last year. They were in the championship last year, right? Am I tweaking? I think they were. Maybe, right? Well, Final Four, maybe just Final Four. But FAU is a heavy sleeper. I like the call there. Iowa State, I feel like nobody really picks Iowa State to win it all. They're that team, they're like, oh, they're great. And then they're like, Elite Eight, Final Four, whatever. It's not a big market team. But their fans show out like nobody I've ever seen, especially in that big Big 12 tournament. I like the call for Iowa State. I honestly thought they would have been a 1 seed potentially. I really like that call. And Courtney, round us off.
Yeah, it looks like me and Ryan have been thinking the same thing all day because I also had JMU as my sleeper right there. I believe like it's probably the worst matchup for Wisconsin in the first round. I mean, JMU plays fast. They have I believe they average around 86 points, which like Ryan says, top 10 in the nation. And I mean, they shoot a lot from the three, which we all know is going to make it's going to bring a team far in March. So I do think JMU can make a run for sure. I think they can also win first round and second round. For my championship winner, it's not a popular pick out of the top seeds, but I am going to go with the Tar Heels. I think North Carolina can do it all this year. One thing that Ikey said, which is part of my point, is the veteran leadership. I think that North Carolina can really have the leadership come late in March and really pull through. I mean, it's been a while, but I think they can make the run that they finally. I feel like they've always should have made.
All right, JMU, there we go. It feels like everybody's in on JMU. I'm in on JMU, so I can say that now. And UNC, interesting pick there. I like it. I'm not necessarily on them, but I do like the UNC pick. I mean, Armando Bacot felt like he's been there for 7 years. I mean, he's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. They got some talent over there, so I like that pick a lot. All right, assigning points for that final question of the first round. Ryan, you're getting the 3 over there, man. JMU and throwing in New Mexico in there. Like those teams a lot as sleeper. In Houston, of course, one of the heavy favorites to get it done. I have them in my final, but I also just think in general they are one of the best teams in the entire tournament. With 2, I'm going to give it to Courtney. I liked a little bit of a different answer, but also like that your sleeper was JMU. And with the 1, Ikey, I'm not the biggest fan of FAU this year, but I did like the Iowa State call, but you're going to get the 1 there. And that will wrap things up for tonight's first round. Don't go anywhere. College Crossfire. We'll be right back. Welcome back into College Crossfire. Scoring update for you all. We have Ryan over there on the end leading the way with 7, Ikey right behind him with 6, and Courtney right behind him with 5. Still anybody's game to take as it's very early, and let's now get back to some different sports questions. The NFL free agency window has been utter chaos since it opened last week. Teams are trading, cutting, and adding lots of talent almost daily at this point. And man, is it fun to see and follow. In your opinion, which team has had the best offseason so far and why? Ryan, we're going to start with you on the end.
So I think it's hard to say because obviously the draft is such a big part of the offseason. We haven't had the draft yet. But with that being said, I'm going to go off of the beaten path a little bit with this one. I believe that one of the best offseasons has been with my Washington Commanders, okay? We had the most cap space coming into free agency, right? Tons of holes. We only won 4 games, awful football, awful defense. New head coach, who is a reputable defensive coordinator who has taken a team to the Super Bowl before. Then he comes in, he takes Dallas's top assistant with him. Then he takes Dorrance Armstrong with him. Frankie Louvu is a great sideline-to-sideline linebacker that a lot of people don't know about. He got the safety from Carolina on a one-year, $5 million deal. He got Austin Eckler, who Austin Eckler is not washed just because he's a running back and he's above 28. Austin Eckler in 21 and 22 had the most touchdowns in the NFL. He was hurt last year. He was playing hurt for a team that was taking a nosedive. They have made a ton of great additions. They've addressed the offensive line, which gave Sam Howell no chance last year. And so now they're looking at the draft, and they have clear positions. They're going to get a tackle, they're going to get a corner, and most importantly, at number 2, hopefully they get the quarterback right. Maybe now, since they've accumulated so many assets, they trade up and get DC's own Caleb Williams, which would be a LeBron story coming home. Watch out. I'm biased. I'm very biased. Watch out for the Commanders. 9-8 wild card berth.
Wow.
Next year.
Holy cow. This is what the show is about, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. I was not expecting to hear the Commanders on the show tonight at all. I was not expecting to hear Commanders and Caleb Williams in the same sentence. I like the biasy, by the way. You gotta have a little bias. It's what makes it fun. That is quite the take. I like it. It's ambitious. It's ambitious. All right. Courtney, let's hear it.
There's no ulterior motives behind my pick, but honestly, I think I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans. I think the Houston Texans have low-key had the best offseason. Now, listen, I do think that they did lose some pieces. They lost Devin Singletary, they lost Blake Cashman, they lost Jonathan Greenard, but they upgraded all those spots. They got Daniel Hunter, who I believe is low-key one of the best DNs of the last 10 years in our league. He's so underrated. I think they got Joe Mixon, which is an upgrade from Devin Singletary in every way, shape, or form. And they also got some pieces that are underrated. I feel like Jeff Okudah still has a lot to prove in this league. I think he was a top 5 pick. I think he can still be something in this league. And they just kind of mix around other spots too. They got Danico Autry. They got Aziz Ansari, I believe, who can replace Blake Cashman.
Al-Sha'ir, yep. You're with it, yep.
So they obviously had made some pieces around. I do love when teams pick up a lot of pieces while their star quarterback is on a rookie contract, which is what the Houston Texans are trying to do. So I love the direction that they're going, and I think they stay on top of AFC South, for a division that did make a lot of changes as well. We saw the Titans sign people, the Jaguars sign people. So I think that the Houston Texans stay on top of the AFC South for sure. I think they're going to be top players in the AFC.
Wow, that was a very well-described answer. No matter what that team was, very well-described answer from you. This might be my new favorite question of the night, because we got an awesome answer at the end. We got an awesome answer here. Ikey got high expectations here. Courtney really liked that answer. Great job, man. All right, let's hear it, Ikey.
Yeah, so I've never talked about the Chicago Bears on Crossfire before, but I'm going with the Bears as having the best offseason so far. And I sum up their offseason in 2 massive moves. The first being that they got Keenan Allen going over to the Bears, so now the Bears are going to have a wide receiver 1 and DJ Moore, and wide receiver 1.5 or wide receiver 2 and Keenan Allen to, really start. They're going to have a competent receiving core. And the second move was that they traded Justin Fields, and I think it was good for both parties. I think Justin Fields needed a reset. I think the Bears needed a reset, and the Bears have the number 1 pick, and I think they have the number 9th pick too in the draft. So they're going to be able to get whatever quarterback they want. They're clearly going all in on the quarterback they pick, whether it be Caleb Williams, McCarthy, or whoever they wind up with. But I can't imagine Bear fans have ever been this optimistic during an offseason than they are right now. I think things are taking a good turn for the Bears.
Yeah, absolutely. They signed their franchise cornerback to a big-time deal. Caleb Williams is going to be a Bear unless we got to trade down there potentially with the Commanders. We'll see about that. DeAndre Swift. They've made a lot. Keenan Allen. They've made a lot of really, really great moves in Chicago. Lots of things to be excited about. Another great answer from you over there, Ikey. All right. Tough one to give out the 3 here. Very tough. I'm going to give it to Courtney, not because of my Texans bias. Very well-described answer, and they did upgrade at a lot of different positions that people maybe not even really notice. The 2, I got to give it to you, Ikey, for sure with the Bears. Another great offseason, I think, up there in the top 2 or 3 offseasons of the league. With the 1, I'm going to give it to Ryan. Really like the ambition over there, Ryan. Keep that up. I don't know about Caleb Williams and the Commanders, but we'll see. Great question, guys. Great question. All right. Sticking here with NFL free agency, there have also been some players who have signed to teams that have shocked not only myself, but the rest of the NFL community as well. In your opinion, who has been the most shocking free agency signing and why? Courtney, I want to start with you in the middle.
I just saw him in the VO. I think it's pretty obvious. It's Kirk Cousins. A 35-year-old off of an ACL tear Achilles injury, getting that much money is absolutely ridiculous. It was shocking. I never had imagined in my life I would see Kirk Cousins in the Atlanta Falcons jersey, but it happened. I think that we didn't know which way the Falcons were going to go this offseason with their quarterback. Obviously, we knew Desmond Ritter wasn't the answer. They thought that maybe they're going to draft. Maybe they'll give Desmond Ritter another chance. Maybe they'll look at free agency for another piece. But for them to go with Kirk Cousins and give him all that money and think that this is the year that they make a push for a playoff run, considering the NFC South is a weak division, I think it was very shocking to say the least. I had Kirk Cousins maybe staying with the Vikings or going to another team that had a lot more pieces, but I'm excited to see what the Falcons do this year.
All right, fair enough. I think Kirk was very surprising. I actually predicted him to go to Atlanta 2 weeks ago, but overall in general, it is a very shocking signing for sure. Coming off the Achilles, older quarterback in the NFL. What are the Falcons going to do? Are they going to get Fields? What are they going to do? Obviously, they get Kirk Cousins. Very shocking to say the least. I like that answer a lot. Ikey, let's hear it.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was pretty shocked, I would say. But Saquon Barkley going from the Giants to the Eagles was pretty shocking, mostly because, Saquon was stuck in a stagnant offense. He was still productive, over 10 touchdowns a year pretty much. But going to an interdivision rival who has been pretty much on top of the division. Last year, the Eagles, they blew it in the playoff. But, the Eagles are going to have all that they need. With Jalen Hurts coming back, Saquon Barkley is going to be a clear running back one, and he's going to give them some major consistency on offense, maybe on games that whenever Jalen Hurts doesn't have it, he can't do anything. Saquon Barkley is going to tote the rock and get them some more wins in the NFC East. So, yeah, I'm going Saquon to the Eagles. I was shocked.
Definitely. I would definitely say I was shocked for that one, too. And like you said, when Hurts doesn't have it, in some games, it's been very evident where Hurts does not have that type of game in him. They can just hand off the ball to Barkley and hopefully he can take it over. So I said it's very shocking, and we'll see how Saquon does there. He should be very successful. So it'll be fun to watch. All right, Ryan, round us off.
Well, so that was my same answer. Just think about it. So you have a running back. You're the Giants. You have a running back, and this man is effectively your whole offense. You have a mediocre pedestrian quarterback that you, for some reason, paid $30 million a year. But you can't put up the money for Saquon Barkley, a generational rushing talent, and it bit the Giants in the butt because this is what happens. He if you weren't loyal to him, he shouldn't be loyal to you. So the New York fans can get all mad, and I don't like the Eagles either. I don't like the Giants, but he doesn't have to be loyal to them. So it surprised me he went to the Eagles in that how do they still have the money to make all these moves because Howie Roseman is a wizard. But it's more surprising from the Giants' perspective that how are you going to let your entire offensive engine from the past 6 years since his Rookie of the Year season walk for nothing? It's not like they traded him. I don't want to hear that running backs don't matter anymore because that's not true, because when you establish the run, it opens up the pass, especially when you have a mediocre quarterback like Daniel Jones. I just didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And Howie Roseman did it again.
Yep.
He's probably the best GM in the sport.
Yeah. Eagles keep finding ways to, pull the bunny out of the hat somehow and find more money. So really well-explained answer over there. I like the passion, and to call Daniel Jones mediocre, that might actually be a kind way to put it. The dude is flat-out trash. He's not good. He's just not good. Great answers across the board. With the 3, going to give it to Ikey. You said it first. That was my answer straight off the bat. It's got to be Saquon, I think, to the Eagles was at least to me, my most shocking. I think the NFL most shocking. To 2, tough to give points here, but Ryan, I'm going to give it to you with the 2. Really like how you just brought in the whole motivational factor. If you said, if they don't respect him, why should I respect them back? He wanted money last year. They didn't give it to him, gave him $11 million, kind of pity money contract per se, and didn't do anything with it. So I'll give you the 2 there. With the 1, I'm going to give it to you, Courtney. Just really like the Barkley answers from the other side. All right, shifting over to the diamond for our 3rd and final question of this round. The MLB season officially kicked off today with the Dodgers and the Padres playing each other in the Seoul Series. This is the first time in MLB history that regular season games are being played in South Korea. And it's a 2-game series before the rest of the teams play their first games next week. What are your thoughts on MLB planning games like this? What other country would you like to see the MLB potentially go to? Ikey, we're going to start with you.
Yeah, so, the MLB, they've established, baseball academies in other countries, and that's great because they're trying to grow the game, and it's great that they're playing baseball in other countries. But in this case, they're starting the season. I would have to wake up at 5 a.m. to watch a game here. That's the thing that kind of bugged me. If they're going to start the game in another country, I would rather see them do it in a country like Venezuela, or they haven't played a game in the Dominican Republic yet. They haven't played a game in Curacao yet. 2 countries that are only an hour or 2 time difference. And they've also, they have over 100 players in the league, the Dominican Republic and Venezuela, 100 players are in the league. I mean, they'd be complete sellouts. You could do a lot of charity stuff there, but it'd be cool to see them play a game of Curacao too. Make it Braves versus Dodgers. Ozzie Albies from Curacao, so is Kenley Jansen. I mean, they have some good ball players there too. So I love the idea of the MLB playing games in other countries. I would just make it more U.S. fan-friendly, somewhere where you could watch during the day here.
Yeah, fair enough. I think the time this morning threw everybody off. Like, oh, what? There's baseball on? Oh, wait, it's the regular season? I thought it's still spring training. Theoretically is. So, yes, I like that answer a lot. Other countries should be involved. But, yes, the timing is very odd. But I like the start to the question a lot. And, Ryan, I want to go to you.
Well, I think this is great. And I actually somewhat of a personal connection here in that my grandfather served in the Korean War, and what the veterans would do back then is they would bring American customs overseas. It happened in World War II, it happened in Korea. So he taught, along with some of his fellow soldiers, Korean kids baseball back in the 50s. And so that's just a beautiful thing. You're bringing this game around the world. You can argue if it's America's pastime now. It certainly was then. And I just think that's a great thing. So I think that, it's 5 a.m., whatever. It's 2 games out of 162. We can have a messed up time for 2 games, even if you're a fan of one of those teams. And so I think it's great. And the other thing is, MLB, this is a shrewd business move. Let's be honest. Baseball domestically is losing ground. Globally, it's not. They have to continue to feed in globally because domestically, even with the bigger bases and stuff, I just don't see how it recovers to what it was. So this is a very important move. But my idea is, yes, these closer countries that have put teams, that put a bunch of players in, the DR, Curacao, Aruba, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, you have Mexico, they all have tens and tens of players in the show. You put a game there with, the native players, and you would sell it out. And think about it this way. These games are in March. These teams that are playing these games could sell a ticket package to Americans to go to these places. It's warm. It's spring break. You go to spring break, go to the beach, and see a baseball game. Just like they advertise, hey, come see the team in Florida or Arizona for spring training. So I think it would work for the league. I think it works for the teams, and I think it's great.
Wow, another great, very well explained answer over there. A little personal anecdote, like that a lot. And absolutely, those packages, spring break, like you said. I mean, I'd love to go to the beach, watch a little baseball game in a different country. I think that'd be a blast. So, really great answer from you as well. Courtney, round us off for this round, man.
Yeah, it's been a recent trend of a lot of leagues around America doing games overseas, but we haven't seen the league yet start their season overseas. And I mean, it's been controversial. I also don't like it either. I mean, I think even we have to wake up at 5 a.m. But if you think about it, the Padres and the Dodgers are both from the West Coast. They have to wake up at 3 a.m., which is even worse for them because I mean, at least 5 a.m. we might be waking up for work. 3 a.m. like no one's supposed to be up at that time. So I think it's the wrong 2 teams to get picked for that slot right there. And plus, when you think about it, even though you can say it's only 2 games and it's at the start of the season, the Padres only missed the playoffs by 2 games last year. So I mean, I feel like every game is important in the MLB season these days. Everything's been so close. Everything's been so hectic. So if jet lag maybe plays a factor, they're not ready, they're off schedule, it could be an important factor when we come to playoff time later in the fall. So I think they could have done it a lot differently, maybe in the middle of the season, but for now, it was okay. I feel like they could have just changed it. In terms of places to go, maybe, I mean, let's do somewhere in Africa. Let's do Nigeria. Let's do South Africa, a place that doesn't have baseball there. Maybe grow the game in a place that's stagnant, and I think that would be good for the league.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I really like the point you brought in. It was only 2 games, like Ryan mentioned, which I like that point. But then again, Padres missed the playoffs by 2 games, so every game does matter. It's a long season, but every game does matter, and I really like the fact that you brought that point in. So, very tough question to give out points here, guys. My God. Making my job very difficult tonight. With the 3, I'm going to give it to Ryan. Really liked your explanation down there on the end. Domestically, it's getting a little bit of steam, not a lot, but globally, I mean, you just got to keep it going. Like the anecdote as well. The 2, tough one here. I'm going to give it to you, Courtney. I like the fact you brought up 2 games still matters out of a 162-game season. It's a long season, but those games matter. And even, yes, San Diego, California, 3 a.m., like that's even crazy. If I'm staying up and having a good time, I'm still probably going to be in bed by like 3 a.m. So, anyways, and then Ikey, I'm going to give you the one there. Liked your answer, but competitive round of answers there, man. It was a good one. But that will wrap things up for this second round of College Crossfire. When we come back, we'll have a score update and more questions to come. You won't want to miss it. Welcome back in the College Crossfire. We have a tight game for you tonight. Quick scoring update. Ryan on the end still leads with 13. Ikey right behind him with 12. And Courtney right behind him with 11. All within 1 point of each other. That's how this show is done. Entering the final round or the rapid fire round worth double the points. Let's get into our first question of the rapid fire round. All right. The NFL Combine took place just a few weeks ago, and Texas' own Xavier Worthy ran the fastest 40-yard dash time in Combine history with a 4.21 second time. Back in 2017, Adidas offered an island or $1 million to whoever broke the record and was wearing their cleats. Worthy was wearing orange Adidas cleats when he broke the record, but the reward supposedly was put to sleep when John Ross broke it, wearing the Nike cleats just 7 years ago. If you were Adidas and were starting a new reward for winning and beating the record, what would be the reward you would give out? Anybody can answer at any time. Go ahead.
I feel like some kind of custom cleats deal, but like Oregon Duck style. Every game you're getting new cleats, whatever you want, drippy cleats. You know, especially for someone like Xavier Worthy with the flair he plays with. And think about it, if you're breaking the dash record, you're a DB or a receiver. These are guys with moxie. These are guys who talk smack on the field. You know, look good. Didn't Deion say look good, play good, pay good? That's very important. Xavier trying to get that bag. He needs good cleats on. And I think that would be a great deal. Obviously, a cash incentive would work. But think about it. In the age of NIL, these guys are going to have money coming into the league, and then they're going to sign the rookie deals. So you need something more personal of a gift than just cash. So I think you need Oregon Duck style switch the cleats every game.
Okay, fair enough. Personalized cleats for every single game you're in the NFL. I like that. Straight from Nike. Or straight from Adidas, excuse me. Straight from the headquarters. I like it. All right, let's hear it. Who else got one?
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm thinking first, I mean, I like what you said about the custom cleats deal, but, you know, I think you just go ahead and give them stock share of the Adidas company. Like, in perpetuity for the rest of your life. That way, if you get hurt on the football field, your 40-yard dash will stand in history and you'll still be taken care of. Okay, and also, you throw in an airlines deal, you get, like, unlimited miles on Southwest Airlines or something, and name a school after you, too. Build a new school, and yeah, I think Adidas should do that.
All right, so we have stock in Adidas, free planes for forever, and your own school named after you. A little different than just some cleats for a game, but I like it. Both ends of the wheel here. All right, Courtney, what you got?
It's hard to be a private island in the first place in terms of anything, and stocks too, but I mean, just make them the face of Adidas. I mean, LeBron has Nike has LeBron, they had Jordan. Let's make, if Xavier Worthy won, let's make Xavier Worthy the new Jordan, LeBron, and Adidas. Give him every sneaker deal, give him every clothes deal, have him rock down Adidas all the time, every time. Give him an Adidas chain. Just make him like the Adidas mascot for 20 years, and just make Adidas
mascot. All right, man, this is a tough one to give out points. We're all over the board here. Okay, so, all right, you got custom cleats from Adidas for every single game. You got literally the face of Adidas for 20 years, aka almost like a mascot. And you got school, plane, and stocks. Essentially everything in between.
Perpetuity.
Great answers across the board. Again, I'm not going to tell you the points, but great answers across the board. All right, moving into our second question. Timberwolves guard Anthony Edwards absolutely posterized John Collins of the Utah Jazz the other night. And it got me thinking of this question. What's your favorite NBA poster dunk, or just dunk in general, of all time? Anybody can go.
I mean, I'm going to go with Michael Jordan dunking from the free throw line. I mean, for the first time under the bright lights, I'm going with MJ. He's the GOAT. He's still the GOAT. He has the GOAT dunk of all time. Yeah, this one's for you, Mike. That Mike and Ike podcast. Stay tuned.
Mike and Ike podcast. Great answer. I did that once with the cameras off, but we don't got to talk about that. All right, what else we got? Go ahead.
I would say that while dunk contests are special and it's lost its meaning, the best dunks are the in-game dunks. And what is one of the most iconic, I guess you would call it a meme of all time? It's D. Wade after the lob going like this. Wham!
Yeah.
LeBron. That LeBron Heat LeBron was different. that and early Cavs LeBron was the best LeBron, and that is my GOAT, by the way. I believe that when it's all said and done, he will be better than MJ, and that will be one of his crowning moments. Maybe that'll be the future logo of the NBA.
Wow, future logo of the NBA. Whoa, ambitious there, but man, that picture is like one of the best sports, not even just NBA, sports photos of all time. LeBron going up for the lob. Wade's like, you already know it's going in. Awesome answer over there. All right, Courtney.
I think I'm gonna go with the LeBron dunk. As much as I love the alley-oop dunk, it was just it was a regular dunk.
I know which one you're saying.
I think I'm gonna go with the one on Jason Terry. The one on Jason Terry when he absolutely obliterated him, put him on the ground. Jason Terry tried to go for that charge. It did not work at all. Jason Terry's ball head bounced off the canvas. LeBron was in that mode in those Miami days. Everyone was hyped. You know, Boston versus Miami's the Heat series. That dunk right there just lit the place on fire. That dunk for sure is my favorite dunk.
All right, fair enough. So we got MJ from the free throw line, iconic. We got D Wade and LeBron in the Heat, iconic. And we got LeBron, just another filthy poster against one of the league's best teams now for like 20, 30 years. Great answers from you guys. That's what I was expecting. We're going to move into our potentially final question of the night, bearing a tie after it. All right, it's not a sports question, but I had to get into it. Spring break just occurred, and I had some pretty good eats as I went to San Diego. I'm aware this is not sports related, but the question must be asked. What is the best type of cuisine to eat, and why do you think it's the best? Anybody can go. Careful here.
Ooh.
Lots of great cuisines.
So many good ones.
I feel like you have to go with one of the oldest cuisines of all time, and also one of the most refined cuisines of all time, with Italiano cuisine, with the pizza and the pasta, and you're sitting on the Venice River with a slice of pizza and some pasta and a salad. I mean, just envision that. If that doesn't scream best food of all time.
Wow.
I can smell it from here.
That was some good imagery. I might need some pizza after this. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Italian is great.
You can also have it with anything. I mean, you got the fast food version of Italian.
Yeah.
Domino's Pizza.
True.
Okay.
That's a good point.
And you can also go to some fancy restaurant. So.
True. And they got great wines too.
Food for all.
There we go.
I didn't even get into the wines.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's a good answer. It's a good start. All right, Ryan.
I was debating between Italian, as that is partly my roots. Shout out, Mom. But I'm gonna have to go with Mexican food here in Texas.
Man.
And it's not. But no, don't forget though, it's not just Tex-Mex. It's not just the queso, chalupas, quesadillas, tacos, all that. It's also California Mexican food. Some of the best fish tacos you'll ever have. I'll paint a picture for you. You're sitting in Santa Barbara in the sand, and you just got a plate of 3 delicious fish tacos with the white sauce on it, little lime squeeze, delectable. It's amazing.
Wow.
And I knew Tex-Mex was good, but before coming to school here, somehow I slept on it a little bit.
Really?
Somehow I did. And he made a point with the cheap Italian. That's why I didn't choose Italian. Domino's, Papa John's, it's all right. But wouldn't you rather have Cabo Bob's? I think you would.
Ooh, potentially.
Cabo
Wow,
Bob's
this imagery is amazing, guys. I can picture that. I'm picturing that. I'm getting really hungry over here. Courtney, let's hear it.
I mean, you can't really beat those two cuisines, but I mean, my patriotism is running deep inside me right now. I mean, my mom would be mad at me. I should go African cuisine, but I'm going to go with the American. I'm going to go with the American cuisine, if we even have it. But I mean, burgers, hot dogs, I mean, how could you beat that? The barbecue, I mean, it's just, you know, America, it's just like you know, bald eagles just running through my veins right now. It's just, you know,
That's getting quoted. That's getting quoted.
Imagine just sitting out at the park. You could be in Philadelphia, the home of our independence. Nice barbecue in the park. Barbecue on the grill, hot dogs on the grill, burger on the grill, with some chips. Maybe go to McDonald's later. I mean, it's just, how could you be America? I mean, July 4th, all that, memory just flowed through my veins. That's right there is the best cuisine.
Wow. Wherever Goose is back there, you got to quote that Goose. Going in the intro. Did you say bald ego running through your veins? Is that what you said? Man, that's an all-timer. That needs to be quoted somewhere. American, great call. I mean, fried pickle is just phenomenal. Just anything fried really is just American, just classic. All right, we got American, we got Italian, we got Tex-Mex. 3 all-time quality ones. Surprised Chinese wasn't brought up. That's like my personal favorite. But all right. Great answers all night from you guys, especially this final round. But I've added up the points, and we do have a winner. No bonus question needed. A quick little drum roll, please. The winner of tonight's show is Mr. Ryan Hopper on the end. Ryan gets it done just barely. Do we have time for FaceTime for Ryan? Yeah. We do. Ryan, any words?
Well, I appreciate it, Ryan. I appreciate it to the TSTV family for welcoming me in the past few months. And I just got to shout out the boys who are watching. Ben, Campbell, back at y'all's schools. Hondo, Mateus, y'all said y'all was going to tune in. Your roommate, I think y'all said y'all was watching with him. You know, obviously, gotta give glory to God. I love you, Mom, if you're watching. Shout out Chris, my stepdad. And thanks again, and I'm looking to bring it back-to-back next week. Wow, one of the most wholesome FaceTimes we've ever had. We had a few on here, but that's definitely up there for the running. Ryan, congratulations. Courtney and Ikey, thank you both for coming on. Again, always great to have you guys on. Great answers from you guys as well. That will do it for us tonight here at TSTV. We got to thank everybody here in the studio, in Master Control, to the audience, especially watching out there. I am Ryan Swantkowski, and we will see you guys next week.